Good afternoon. It is Sunday, so that means it is Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. So while I'm waiting for Allison to receive her invite, I want to welcome you all to another Soul Sunday. And today we will be discussing business and pleasure. Pretty much real quick for my replay viewers, if you happen to catch this on the replay, comment your name, where you're watching from, so we can thank you for watching and we can see how far our message is reaching. Two, if there's anything that Allison and I are discussing, and there she is. Hey, boo. Hi, Amber. Thank you for watching. Yeah, if you feel it's beneficial for somebody else, then by all means, welcome engagement. We welcome questions. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Good.
I deconditioned and washed last night, and I just have my little, braids in. So I ain't feel like taking them down today because I'm trying to make sure I look right for my mama Porty this
I
weekend.
know that's right.
Girl, you ought to see this crap stable we made.
I cannot wait to see what comes of all this. You've been working on this for weeks, okay?
Girl, have we? But anyway, this is Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison, and today we are talking about business and pleasure. If anything we say resonates with you, comment, engage, share the video. We like likes, hearts, angry faces, smiley faces. It don't matter. We appreciate it all. But for those that don't know me, I am Ruby B, the Goddess Entrepreneur. I am the author of the Goddess Grind book series, which focuses on you becoming the best version of you in order to manifest success personally as well as professionally. I am a speaker and I speak on a number of different topics that has to do with chakras, entrepreneurship, mental health and wellness, any of that. What else? Speaker, radio personality. Of course, Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. I also have Soul Therapy Internet Radio with myself and Tara. Starting next month, we will have Soul to Soul with myself and Mr. James Archer. And early this morning while I was asleep, I finally got the last show for my Soul series, which is going to be me by myself. And it will be called Solitude. Yeah, it just kind of came to me at like 4 something this morning.
Nice.
Hey James, what's up? And thank you for tuning in. Girl, that's what I said. I was just like, see, that's why I be asleep. But Allison, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Miss Allison Denise, also known as the Petite Powerhouse. I'm a relationship rebuilder. I'm right here with my sister Ruby on Sunday and Tuesday for Soul Sunday Reloaded. You can also catch me on Monday through Thursday on Facebook. I am a transformational coach, speaker. I believe in helping you let go of your ex, get ready for your best, and enjoying your life in between. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Oh, that's all she got to say today.
Well, we're going to do our thing at the end.
Yes. But for the last few Soul Sundays, Allison and I have basically been discussing relationships, sex, mental and emotional illness and unhealthiness. And today we are discussing business and pleasure.
Yes.
Of course, we only got 60 minutes, so we'll get in as much as we can. If we have to have a part two, then we'll have a part two, but we'll see. But like I said, today's topic is business and pleasure. Now, of course, if you're already in a relationship and you're wanting to start a business, or the person that you're dating, you're thinking about starting a business with them, yeah, you have to think about it. Just because they're good in a relationship doesn't mean they'll be good as a partner in a business. But of course, when we are single, and of course, me and Allison can vouch for this, and I'm sure other women and other men can vouch the same. But we get those little DM messages. Oh, I want to reach out to you about some business related things, and then 5 minutes later, they like, "Are you single?" And it's just like, come on now, like really, really, is that where that's the best thing you can come up with to,
That's all you got.
have
Yeah.
think about today's topic?
I am sincerely looking forward to today's topic because even though we are going to tailor this towards talking to our fellow entrepreneurial brothers and sisters and what business and pleasure means to them, I do think that those of you who may not necessarily be of the entrepreneurial mindset, and that's completely okay. We keep saying that. We want to make sure you understand we're not coming from a
Right.
standpoint of being on some higher level, but you may find yourself attracted to a person who is of the entrepreneurial mindset. And you may have also been someone where a relationship with someone who's an entrepreneur ended. And so we're hoping that as we talk tonight, today, this will also give you insight on some of the different perspectives that you don't necessarily have to think about because you're not building a business, you're not building anything um, from the ground up. And so
Right.
this will help give you perspective on why you may not necessarily see your boo as much as you want to. It may also help you understand what it is that that person is going to have to do to get it off the ground. And it will help you going forward in determining if you can even date someone who is starting a business so that you don't go through any hardship or heartbreak again.
Right. Thank you, Harmony, for watching. Hey, Rashida. Hey, Brian. Um, I'm sure you do. Hey, Dorian. Demo,
What's up,
what's up?
Demo?
So, to go ahead and get into this topic,
Yes.
I wrote down a few things. So we'll kind of skip around. But one thing that I wrote down is some people say that, you're not supposed to mix business with
Yep.
pleasure. And I completely get that.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to realize that some people can mix business with pleasure and it not be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it did, quite work for you doesn't mean it might not quite work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for example, me and my ex, um, he and I were together for quite a while. I actually moved from Mississippi to Florida. That's how I actually ended up um, being in Florida. But throughout the time that we dated, he and I had businesses together. And it was actually cool for us because he and I before I actually relocated to Florida, he and I originally met in 2003 and I ended up moving to Florida in 2000, the beginning of 2012. So he and I had known each other for a very long
Mm-hmm.
time. And so, he was 13 years my senior. And that probably has something to do with it too, simply because he was older
Mm-hmm.
and a bit more experienced in some areas as compared to, other men that would have been closer to my age.
Mm-hmm.
But we started a few businesses together, and he's actually started his own business. And even though I relocated, we were still able to work together. We still, for the time that we dated, we were still, in a relationship doing our thing until we decided to go separate ways. But once we decided to go separate ways, we still talked about business. We still were business partners. We still did business things together. And it wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say, of course, for some, you definitely can't mix business with pleasure. You just have to, mentally be in a certain area, and effective communication, of course, plays a huge role. But it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Allison.
So when we do talk about this, mixing business with pleasure, um, I do come from a different standpoint, although I do agree with Ruby. I do agree that there are instances where it can work. In her case, as she mentioned, they met in 2003. I'm assuming 2012 was when they decided to make the relationship a little more serious, but I'm assuming during that 9-year period, they weren't dating the entire time. I'm assuming that they started off as friends
Mhm.
and had established that stuff first. And so I think, in from my perspective, I think that it's going to have something to do with what type of relationship did you have prior to it becoming romantic. If you started
Mhm.
off as dating and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a proponent of being clear about what you want. But if you do find yourself in a business relationship with someone that you have only established a romantic relationship with, the hope is that there is a friendship. But if everything has been rolled into one, I have found that it is harder for some people, not impossible, but harder for some
Mm-hmm.
people to actually still let the business keep going because they don't have a point of reference for what to go back to. Okay, the relationship didn't
Right.
work, but we were friends for 5 years, so it's going to be an adjustment, but we know how to do the friend thing. But if you didn't start off with that, that's where I find that there's sometimes a bit of an issue where sometimes people just need to separate, which is one of the reasons that I'm, you know, so cautious about people who are dating getting in businesses anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right. Definitely made a lot of good points, but you do have to be conscious of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I said, I do think the age had a lot to do
Yes.
with it because with him being much, I'm not gonna say much older than me, but older than
Mm-hmm.
me, um, I already knew that for one, he wasn't about to let, any negativity get in the way of his money. I just put it like that. It wasn't a bad thing, but I knew that when it came time for us to engage in business activities, that's where his mind was. He was serious about that money, and if we're gonna go out here, we gotta look a certain way. We have to present ourselves a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, you know, basically be a certain way. It's like, at the end of the day, I love you, and when we get home, we'll do what we got to do. But out here, and
Yeah.
when we handling business,
Yeah.
we handling
Yeah.
business, and I completely understood that, and I have absolutely no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you everybody for tuning in. This is Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison, and today we are talking about business and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now if you are, let's say, like Allison mentioned earlier, you are interested in someone that's I can't even talk right now, an entrepreneur or they own a
Mm-hmm.
business, and you're trying to find the best way to holler at them or shoot your shot or whatever you want to call it right now, because y'all know y'all cuffing season coming up. I mean, I don't participate in that
At
season,
all.
so um, I don't know. But with all of that coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and they are a business owner or an entrepreneur, for one, don't DM them asking them about some business, and it's not about business.
Yes.
With us being entrepreneurs and business owners, get straight to the point. We don't
Please.
have a lot of time for the fluff. We don't have a lot of time for the extra.
Yeah.
If you're interested, say that you're interested.
Yes.
It's completely okay, because it's going to be completely okay when we tell you now we're not interested at all. So just know that there is that possibility,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not wasting your time, and we don't want you wasting our time because we are business owners.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, if we have Messenger on Facebook or whatever, hey Tate, what's up? Hey Amon, hey Rudy, um, anything like that,
Yeah.
the DMs for us is for I was gonna say doing money or something, related to it. It is nothing personal at all.
It's just not.
No, it's all about business.
Oh.
You say big girls are from January to May. Tate, don't
Oh,
make me mute
Tate.
you today. Allison. Now, if y'all follow Allison, I know y'all have seen some of Allison's posts about some of the DM messages that she gets, and they are quite entertaining. I will say that. But yeah, if that's gonna be your approach to saying, well, hey, I want to, pursue something personal or get to know you better,
Yes. Yes.
definitely take a look at the profile.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we put that information there.
Yeah.
Um, you find out a lot about a person if you would simply just look at their profile. You
Yeah.
ain't even got to scroll down and see what kind of posts they make.
Yeah.
Usually you can see, a picture, what they do.
Absolutely.
Go there.
Yeah.
Um, Me, I am not fond of the can I get to know you better type question. And that's only because if you've already taken the time out to send me a message,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm interested. What is it that you're into? I see from your profile based on this, you're into this, you're into that. Tell me about that. or tell me about what you do. If you know nothing about it,
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to Google real quick
Mm-hmm.
and just say, "Oh, chakras, I don't know what that is. Let me just look that up real quick."
Mm-hmm.
If you are really that interested.
Right.
I'm gonna kind of cut it off there because I can let Allison chime in on that.
All right. Well, first off, I would be remiss. I'm going to get to that topic, but I have got to give a shout out to the Bad Squad. I see 3 of the other 4 on right now. So shout out to Demo, shout out to Nikita, shout out to Tate. I know C. Renee is on
Thank
the way
you.
taking her baby girl to college, but I want to say thank you guys so much for the support. So yes, what Ruby is saying is 100% true. I'll say it like this. I've been on Facebook. Now, this page that I have right now, those of you who are connected to it, it was a private page as a backup in 2013. I've actually been on Facebook since 2009. So we're going on 9 years in October. In the 9 years that I have been on Facebook, I've only had one guy use the inbox appropriately. So I and the reason that I bring that up is not just for my brothers, because my brothers have shown me some of the nonsense that we've sent as sisters that ain't cool. And so the purpose of me bringing that up is 9.9 times out of 10, whatever it is that you're thinking of sending through an inbox is not good. It's wrong. It's not going to get you the result that you want. It's just not. One dude in 9 years. Now, if I only had 3 dudes in my inbox, I guess your odds would be better, but I've lost count, and other women have as well. So that by default just says, yeah, usually what you're thinking of doing is not going to work. Specifically
Right.
from an entrepreneurial perspective, the biggest takeaway that I want people to get from this, where the inbox is concerned, or social media in general, the biggest thing we need you to understand is it's not that we don't have time. There are some who will purposely not make time for a relationship. They won't. It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily the case for everybody, but we do want to make sure that the time that we're spending is going to be an asset. It's going to be something that is worth not putting that time into our business. And so you have to
Right.
understand those who are very serious about their business, they're not just focused on the business. They're listening to affirmations to keep their mind right. They're listening to different videos. They're reading books. They're trying to stay in a different uh, mindset, perspective, level of energetic connection. They're doing everything around that so that their business can grow. And so
Mm-hmm.
we want to make sure that if we are spending time with somebody, that it's not going to end up being a distraction, because we can't let you
Right.
distract us from what we want. Now, you can be an addition. You don't even have to necessarily want to be hands on with it, though we'd appreciate it. But we do want to know that you respect it. And so we pick up whether you would respect what we're doing based off of how you approach us. And so that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about as an entrepreneur, not a woman entrepreneur, not a male entrepreneur, just entrepreneur in general. We need to know, what is this person's agenda. And one gentleman got really offended, and like Ruby had said, I don't share everything, but the ones that are just like nobody would believe this, those are the ones that I tend to put up, because I've
Mm-hmm.
had a guy who said he was having marital issues, and wanted to talk about things that he was going on that were going on with his wife. I have a personal rule that I don't meet husbands without their wives. I don't care if it's 6 in the morning. I don't care if it's 6 in the evening. If you're married, she's gonna be there, or I'm not down. And he actually got an attitude that told me he wasn't interested in getting help. He was interested in playing victim to see if he could get me to play side chick. That's not a title that I have subscribed for, and it's not one I've been groomed for.
Mm-hmm.
I've had another guy who said he wanted to talk about things that were going on in his life. He needed help trying to let go of some anger. But the minute I told him how much it was going to cost, he said, no, I can't do that. I'm on a fixed income. This gentleman, I went a step further. I found another brother in his state who was willing to drive to his city and talk to him. He never responded again. So that told me he wasn't interested in working through any problems. He just wanted some
Right.
sympathy, and hopefully some sympathy sex. Another title I don't subscribe to. I had another gentleman who reached out, and the very first, I'd say the first 10 or 15 post that he sent on my inbox, it felt like he was running down some checklist, like he was doing a job application. You know, where are you from? What do you do? What is this? What is? And I just stopped him. I said, look, what is it that you need? And so he said, well, I don't know what you mean. I said, are you reaching out for business or for romantic interest? So he said, romantic interest, I guess. I don't have time for I guess. You either know why you have approached me or you don't. And so once he finally
Mhm.
said, well, yes, it's more of a romantic interest, I let him know the steps that it took, and I let him know what I was looking for, and I let him know what I wasn't. And I said, hey, I try
Mhm.
to keep my inbox clean, especially with Facebook wanting to add a message telling me every time I've connected to a person, which keeps throwing the real messages down. I was like, I'm trying to keep
Right.
this clean. Look, go to my page, go to my timeline, go to my website, listen to some videos. If you want to get to know me, you can do it that way. And he
Right.
just said he didn't want to jump those hoops, where you don't have to jump those hoops. That's really your option. So I unfriended him. It's completely
Mhm.
okay, but I need you to understand that when you have a man or a woman who is that direct with you, they're not trying to push you off. I'm not trying to push anybody off. I do want to make sure that my time isn't wasted, because I spend
Right.
so much of it with the business, building the business, trying to come up with another way to generate income. And, that takes a lot of energy. I also have a son that I need to homeschool and spend time with. You have to be worth the time. And if all you're doing is just passing through, wanting to see where things go, wanting to get a feel for what I'm like, I don't have time for that. I need you to know what your
Right.
intentions are with me, not because I think I'm all that, but because I know what kind of time I have. And so if you are someone interested in an entrepreneur, you have to be honest about where you are. Are you just wanting to spend time with somebody because you're lonely? Entrepreneur is not for you. Are you just somebody who uh, just wants to have a good time, have sex, move forward? Find an entrepreneur who says, I don't want a relationship, I just want to get down. But if you find one who says,
Right.
I'm only going to make time for a relationship, leave that person alone. And Ruby's laughing. So let me see what Tate said. I know it was Tate. I know
Girl,
it.
him and Nikita.
Oh, Lord.
But thank you all for tuning in
Thank
to Soul
you.
Sunday with Ruby and Allison. We are discussing business and pleasure today. If anything that we says resonates with you, feel free to comment, share the video, give us some likes, some love, some smiley faces, angry faces. It doesn't matter. Colossus says most, if not all, DMs stem from visual attractions. A lot of men feel women want to hear the sweet nothings about themselves, thinking it's an icebreaker to the actual agenda, whatever that may be. Don't send me that. Thank you. What you want? That's pretty much what I'm gonna say. And to add on to what Allison is saying, first of all, I appreciate the compliments and
I
everything.
do too.
Trust me, I do. But I in no way short myself in saying those things to myself. And I've been in situations where men say, "Oh, you are beautiful. You're attractive. You're nice. You're this." I know. I think the same thing. I'm glad you agree. And they look at me like, so it's not like I'm dismissing your comment.
Yeah.
I'm just pretty much agreeing with you. But at the same time, if you find me attractive, you're not the only one. If anything, I need you to do something to stand out. That's all I'm saying. And going back, I hear the same thing all the time. You're basically just blending in with everybody else. That's for me. Um, yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, that.
Don't. And if y'all don't want to compliment me, it's cool. I'm not gonna be mad if you don't want to compliment me no more. I'm really
My
not.
God.
But I'm just saying, I'm not gonna be mad. But Allison did make a good point when she was referring to, we don't need you to be a distraction. If you can't separate business from pleasure, or either be able to separate the two and find balance, it may be because you lack focus. You don't have any way of not allowing that person to be a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not able to do that, because sometimes, that I will actually say that was a lesson that I learned. as far as not allowing a man's interest to be a distraction from my businesses. And it happened one time. I mean, I was still running my business. It wasn't like I completely threw the business to the side or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
did realize I kind of slacked up on it because at that time I felt like at that point I was wanting to pursue a relationship, which, you know, after all, I really didn't. And I figured that out on my own. But I realized that I made the connection between when I was at the points where if I was making a major shift or change in my businesses,
Mm-hmm.
then I would get an influx of messages from men. And had I not paid attention to that lesson, I never would have learned it, and I would have kept going through that same cycle over and over again. I don't do that no more. Pretty much at this particular point, if you send me a message and you don't even make mention, or never ask me about my business, then that means you know absolutely nothing about me
Mm-hmm.
because I work from home full time. I don't have any kids, so my life is my business.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say I don't have time for other things,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're trying to get to know me, like really get to know me, that should be the first thing you see. You should learn about me. You should understand about me. And even with that, you should realize that for one, I don't have time to play any games. Two, trust me, at this particular point, you're not going to be a distraction at all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we're not on the same page, if we don't share the same type of energy, if you're not even talking the same language I'm talking, and I'm not talking coming out of my mouth. We all know that this form of communication is the lowest form of communication that's out there. If you can't communicate with me here, uh, non-verbally and in other ways and understand what I'm saying energetically, frequency, energy, then it's a no-go for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Allison, I know you talked a little bit about the distraction
Mm-hmm.
piece, but do you have anything else that you want to add to that? Or, did you think of anything else while I was running my mouth?
Well, I'll add to it, and I let me say this real quick because Tate has a comment. He says it's really lame for dudes to jump in inboxes with those tired pickup, "Hey, beautiful," generic fish lines, and I think that's the thing that we want our brothers to understand. It's not necessarily what you're saying. Sometimes it's where you're saying it. Like if I'm out in a store and I have a gentleman who comes up and says, "Good afternoon, beautiful. How are you doing?" That man doesn't know my name. You see what I'm saying? So if he
Right.
says, "Hey, beautiful," that makes sense because, or "Hey, Miss Lady," or "What's up, Queen," or something. He doesn't know my name. He's just seeing me. But if you are on my page, my name is right underneath the photo. I don't care if you look on the desktop, the tablet, or the remote. Allison Denise is right under my chin. And when you and some people don't have an issue with this, but I'm a reader. I like to research. So when you ask me where I'm from and where I live, I automatically lose interest because if you just go two lines down, you see my hometown. You see where I live. So my mindset is if this brother won't take 2 seconds to find those things out about me, he ain't interested. That's my mindset. Nobody's gonna change me on that because it's very. If I see someone who's cute, one of the first things that I look at is where is he from? What does he do? When I'm accepting friend requests, I find out where are they from? What is it that they do? What did their timeline? What kind of information?
Hmm.
I do that, which is why it takes me so long to go through my friends' requests. But that's my thing. If you won't take the time to just read a little square, you're not interested in anything more than seeing if you can get my attention to have a good time, and that turns me off. It just does. So when we talk about the distractions, what I think we basically want you guys to understand is that it takes a lot of mental energy to do what we do. You have to understand that nine times out of 10, if you're dealing with an entrepreneur, you're dealing with a one who is in the building stages. Now, they may be at a point where maybe their first store is taken off, but maybe their goal is to have five. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're in a constant state of building, which also means they're in a constant state of being hit with challenges. They're being hit with several opportunities to give up. They're having good days. They're having not so great days. They're having why did I do this days. And if you want to date that person, you can't change the good days. You can't change the not so good days. You can't change the days that they wish they had just stayed at work. And everyone has had that moment. What you
Mm-hmm.
can do though
Right.
is make a decision to not be an additional obstacle. Be peaceful, be understanding. Now you don't have to make the whole relationship centered around them. I'm against that also. So if you're with somebody who is making it obvious that they're not making time for you, they just want you to get on their bandwagon, that's an entrepreneur you need to sit to the side, move on, because they're not all like that. But having said that,
Right.
also understand what you are getting. You are getting someone who is not yet at the Monday through Friday 8 to 5. Your quality time may be 11 till 3 in the morning. Your quality time may be all day Saturday and all day Sunday because Monday through Friday they're not available when you are. You have to be ready to make those adjustments and understand that just because you're dating someone who can't always take you out. And I even talked to Tate about this. I'm with the Bass Squad Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 p.m. I'm not changing that unless something happens. So my
Mm-hmm.
commitment, 9 to 11 on Friday, is to be on that show. Yeah, if a fine man asked me out on Friday, it's gonna be painful to say, well, I can't see you Friday. What about Saturday? That's gonna hurt. But I've made the commitment, and that's what you have to
Right.
understand with an entrepreneur. They have made a commitment, and sometimes I don't think that commitment is respected because it's not tied to a job, it's not tied to a badge, it's not tied to a regular paycheck. But you have to understand that that commitment is even stronger because it's not attached to those things. And so we need you to be more
Mm-hmm.
mindful of the fact that okay, they're not Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, like I am. They don't have that steady paycheck. If they don't work, they don't make money. And what most entrepreneurs need you to do is understand, not come in and save them, not come in and try to come up with a way for them to make some money, but just simply understand
Right.
that you have come in at a time where I'm building. I am going to set aside this time for you because you're worth it. But please understand when I have more time to give, I will give it to you and don't continue to make it a difficult situation. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I don't do no difficulties. I'd rather not deal with you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. We are discussing business and pleasure.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you all for
And
watching.
whatever,
Carissa,
Tate.
Monica, JoJo, um, Rachel. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
Now, this is, of course, me and Allison, we're both full-time
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs. And, I've been out of the workforce since mid 2016. Allison since the beginning of this year. But when I was working, I did have a few, let me not say a few, maybe one or two at work that
Mm-hmm.
was interested in me. And I know some of y'all got these work boots, these work wives, these work husbands,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much the same, mixing your business and your pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't condone cheating, I ain't all up in your business either. I'm not gonna look at you crazy because that's what you do. Oh, that's what you do. So we still going to lunch because I'm not the one you cheating with. I'm not the one you with, so it ain't got nothing to do with me. But um with the whole mixing business with pleasure and you actually have a job, you actually work a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So some people think that's okay. And it's like, depending on, if you feel like it has to be a secret, like your real man or your real woman don't know about it, can't know about it, then it's just like, well, maybe you need to reconsider, what's going on. But If they cool, oh, I ain't worried about him. I ain't worried about her either, whatever the case may be, then it's just like, well, you can do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that's your life. Do what you want to do. Me and Allison just come on here every Sunday and talk because we like to talk. But uh Coronado, this is a great conversation. Thank you. You're welcome,
Yeah.
and we thank you tuning in every
Every
Sunday
Sunday.
and Tuesdays when you can get here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about business and pleasure. Now, of course, me and Allison touched on this earlier about some people not being able to mix business and pleasure. And I have my own idea as to why that's the case for a number of reasons. It's a number of reasons out there why it doesn't work. But if you could get to the point where you can control your feelings when it comes to, okay, we have to handle business at this time, and then you're also able to handle your emotions when it comes to this pleasure part,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't allow the way you feeling emotionally or personally get in the way of what you're feeling professionally,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not so much of a problem. But I think some people really can't, even though people say, well, you can't separate business from pleasure. No, honestly, okay, let me just give y'all a little backstory. For me, you really can't separate it. And the reason I say you really can't separate it is because it comes from the same source. It comes from you. You don't be professionally happy, and you don't be personally happy. It's just happy. There's no two separate ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't separate personal from professional.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do is effectively manage it
Yeah.
and keep one from spilling over into the other. There's no separating, but there is some management there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can effectively manage your emotions when you're supposed to be handling business, and you can effectively manage not talking about work when you're doing your personal things. So there is a way to separate the two,
Mm-hmm.
but you just have to get to the point where you're able to do so. Look, some of y'all might need some practice. You need to be out there experiencing some business and some pleasure and seeing if you can differentiate between the two. And then if you can't, then you just might not want to do that mix all together. It's all about management of the relationship overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't know how to effectively manage themselves to effectively manage relationships. That's why people can't effectively communicate. Now you mad and can't do your work because you worried about what he doing at the house and who he doing it with. Or vice versa. Men act like they don't care for real, but they care.
Yeah.
Y'all care. Y'all
Y'all
really
really
care.
do.
Um, Aman says, right. India says, setting boundaries for your work home life. Yeah, you really do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, just learn how to effectively manage the two because, like I said, you can have, a business and have some fun in there, some personal fun in there, if you want to. But one thing you do have to consider is if this is not the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, a breakup is going to come. And you need to take that into consideration. So don't be out here trying to do business and pleasure and you doing them dirty and then you're like, okay, I don't want to do business with them no more.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about that part, the breakup part. That's why I'm single. I be all over the place. No comment. India. I own I own an in-home daycare and had to really work on separating the two. If I was stressed because of work, I found that it spilled over into my personal life.
Yep.
Right. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like there is no, well, let me say this. This is my opinion. So don't tell me about my opinion. Let me put that
Mm-hmm.
disclaimer right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't finna be arguing and back and forth with nobody about my opinion and my experience.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no such thing as work-life balance. you pretty much go between the two. And if you can comfortably fluctuate between the two and there's not any overlapping, there's not any issues, then in my opinion, that's balance. It's not that you're 50% at home, 50% at work. Because no, you can't be 50-50 all the time. Sometimes you need to be 100% at home, sometimes you need to be 100% at work, but you
Mm-hmm.
need to know when you need to be where. I've talked a lot.
I
Allison.
enjoyed it. I didn't have a complaint. So I'm gonna back up real quick. Demo said you spend more time with your work boo, but a lot of times, in a lot of cases, that's all it is. Now he is 100% right about that. For those who may have disagreed, hopefully nobody did. But what Demo is actually talking about, and I don't know if he knew that we were even going. Well, I know he didn't know we were going to talk about this, but he is talking about those instances where you have balance. And so if
Mm-hmm.
you do have a work boo, if you're single and you have a work boo that might be filling a particular need, maybe you know you're not ready for a relationship or whatever, you really like this person,
Mm-hmm.
so forth, so on. If you are in a healthy relationship or marriage, you may have a work boo and it's just a joke. And that's where it stays. It stays as a joke. So when we start talking about the work boo being a bad thing, however, it typically starts off being where someone has come in with the immature mindset of making their workplace nothing more than an 8 hour visit to the club every Monday through Friday. They want to
Right.
get phone numbers. They want to flirt. It's just easier to find women. It's easier to find men at work, and you're bringing your bad behavior in the same spot where you want to build a career, and that's just dumb. That is dumb on every single level.
Yeah.
It's dumb. If you want to build a name, and the reason I say that, I've been in two different positions, two different companies rather, where I saw, and in both cases, unfortunately, it was gentlemen, but it was gentlemen who were really really good at their job. They really knew their stuff. They should have been promoted, but they had such a horrible reputation from all the women that they slept with at that job that it hurt them
Ooh,
professionally. And some people will say that that was not
that part.
fair, but what they also don't understand is the company looked at them as potential sexual harassment cases. And if
Mm-hmm.
you have the sexual harassment case, usually the person's not going to come after him, they're going to come after the company because they believe they'll get more money that way. And
Money.
so you have
Right.
to be cautious if you want to sow your oats or be every woman. Nobody's telling you not to do that, but my strong suggestion is that you don't bring that mindset into the workplace because it will cost you 100% of the time. It will cost you. So having said that, when we talk about the whole concept of managing time, I do agree with Ruby mostly when it comes to not having a work life balance. I do think it's something you should strive for. But I
Mm-hmm.
also have learned from experience that, especially as an entrepreneur who's full time, you're going to have to make more effort. And sometimes you don't have it. For instance, I know the next place that I move, I've got to have 3 bedrooms. I know I
Mm-hmm.
need 3 bedrooms because me having my desk and my bookcase right there in a living room, I never shut the work part off. But if I can go to a place where I have my desk, I have my ring light set up for my Facebook Live, if I know that I have that one spot, and then when I'm done, I can close the door and forget about it, that's going to be the thing that helps me. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to try to strive for work life balance. And you also want to get rid of the mindset that you got to work, 20 hours out of the day to build a bit. That's not true. You still got to have balance. You still have to rest. You still have to eat. You still need to exercise. You still need to meditate, pray, whatever it is you do for your own mental health. You can't just put everything into the business and expect yourself to be successful. Your business may grow quickly, but you won't have the stamina to deal with it. You won't have the diet to deal with it. You won't have the energy to move forward. So eventually it's going to catch up with you anyhow. So you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you have that work life balance. It's not going to always be cut and dry. You may have to say, I'm going to work the first 4 hours and then I'm going to take 2 hours to do this. And then I'm going to come back and do another 4 hours and then I'm done for the day. However, it works for you, just understand that you do need to strive for it, even if it's not something that you can do as quickly as I log into my system at 8, and when I log out at 5, I'm done with work. It would be ideal to do that, but depending on the nature of your business that you're building, your clients may not be 8 to 5 clients. Your clients may be nighttime clients. So
Mm-hmm.
you may have to flip your schedule around to accommodate that. So you just want to make sure that you're thinking those things through. And so the last thing that I'll say about the whole work part is cheating of any kind is selfish. There's no explanation for it. There's no reasoning behind it. It's not okay because you felt like they cheated on you. It's not okay because you're not happy anymore. You always have the option to leave. You always have the option to leave a relationship before you cheat. Cheating is never something that needs to be done. But you also have to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you set that same boundary on the other side. I've had men who have hit on me who were separated, and I told them to go away. Separated is married. You not being happy
Right.
anymore, you still married. Y'all sleeping in different beds, you married. You just being there for the kids, you married. Leave me alone. I'm not having it. I'm not going to deal with it. So you have to make sure that you set those boundaries and understand there is never a time where cheating is not selfish. Never. If you can't handle that entrepreneur schedule, leave. If you can't give your non-entrepreneurial partner more time and you know you can't, leave. To Ruby's point, if you know you're not with the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, end it. She said the breakup is coming, but the breakup needs to be done. You already know that don't want to be with them forever. End it. Tell them it's over. Follow through by not continuing to string them along. Open your mouth and do it. Them being
Stop being scared.
Stop being scared. Stop saying, well, uh, that's the best sex I've had though. Yeah,
I don't want to hurt nobody's
but
feelings.
dissing them, moving forward, having them find out the hard way that you moved on with other people, that's not gonna hurt. Come on, y'all. Come on. Do what you would want done to you. Well, now some of y'all wouldn't care. Do the right thing. Let me just say do the right thing. When you know it's over, tell them it's over and follow through by leaving them alone. Don't come up with reasons to keep them around just because they're good and sweet and kind. Don't do that. Be honest, clear cut, end it. I'm done.
Thank you, Allison. I'm trying to see who messaging me because I got a little delay. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. We are discussing business and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to throw this in. Um, and um, like with the last comment, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Asar, managing female artists, especially if they are attractive, it can be challenging, especially if they really admire you. Yes, with that being said, if you know you work in a field or um a market, I can't even think of the word right now,
Mm-hmm.
but if you basically work in an area where you're going to be around a lot of women, you're going to be around a lot of men, you're going to be around basically where you're always confronted with the possibility of mixing business with pleasure and whatnot, you have to be a mentally and emotionally strong individual, because if not, you pretty much just setting yourself up. If you know you ain't strong enough, you might want to find you another job. But you get beat up, shot up, stabbed up, cut up, murked up,
Everything but boot up.
whatever. Exactly. Right, like Allison said, everything but boot up. You might do something else. Find you something else to do,
Please.
because we don't want you getting hurt trying to chase
At
tail,
all.
because it is not worth it. But if you know you work in those fields and that particular type of field or atmosphere or anything like that, be the mentally strong one.
Mm-hmm.
Just be that person. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the trap. Just be mindful. Pay attention. What if the woman makes more than the man? Should the man still try to be with that woman? Yeah, money
Why
ain't got
not?
nothing to do with it.
Now, if she's throwing it in
Money ain't
your
got nothing to do
face,
with it. And if you ain't.
If she's throwing it in
Right.
your face, that ain't the woman for you. And it's not because she makes more money. It's because she's the wrong woman.
Right. She don't
Period.
like you no way. If she just making it about money.
Yeah.
It ain't, and when it ain't got nothing to do with money.
If she's more focused on money,
I
she
keep
is wrong for you. Period. She is wrong for you. And in reference to that managing female artist, this is the big thing I want my brothers to understand. When you have a woman who is there, regardless of what you have, and you now have to be in a position of power to get the attention that you start getting from those people, stop looking at how they look, stop listening to the words that they keep telling you, and understand that that woman is after your power. She doesn't want you. She wants to perceive power that you have. She wants to be, and some women, I need you to hear this, especially if you have good women at home. There are some women who just want to prove that they can get you to hurt her because she was hurt in her relationship. They
Yep.
just want to prove that all men are dogs because that will make her feel better about being dogged out. Do not hurt your woman with another woman who just wants to see another woman hurting. That is the most disrespectful thing you could do. I don't care how attractive she is. I don't care how pretty she is. Don't tell me that you didn't have a way to fix it. The way to fix it is to say, I have a woman. This is a business relationship only. And if you cannot handle that, I'll be happy to find someone else to handle your account. It is really that serious. Because what I promise you, you take care of the heart at home, the universe is going to take care of the desires that you have for your heart in business. So you decide to make everything an excuse, and there's a reason you can't tell somebody to back off. You always have a reason why you can't do it. You're going to find your business suffering, my brother, because you're not treating the heart at home right. I'm done.
Ladies, you too. Because y'all be doing it too. Don't be acting like we just talking to them. We talking to y'all
Exactly.
too.
Y'all too. And stop calling your man
Now,
friends your brothers. Stop calling them your brothers. Stop calling them, oh, he's just my friend. Stop
I
lying.
don't call nobody that.
Stop it.
What is he to you? Nothing. Because we ain't
Because we
together.
not stop all that. Oh, he's just like a brother to me. He's my best friend. Stop. Because some of us do have
No.
men who are good and are our best friends. And now because y'all lying and hooking up behind the scenes, now we can't have male friends. Because y'all lying. Stop it. I'm done.
For real. Stop it. Stop it. Because, like, and that's a good point because me, I'm the type of person, I cultivate good relationships with
Me
men.
too.
And because I have these good relationships with men, that does not equate to me sleeping with them, being intimate with them, being anything with
At
them.
all. Mm-mm.
And I've had somebody to, oh no, if we get together, you got to cut everybody off. I ain't cutting nobody off because they ain't did nothing to you and they ain't did nothing to me, and they respect me. And if they know me and they know if they know me and they know that when I'm with somebody, I'm with that person. Now, if your friends don't do the same thing, or you've been in a situation where you've had to been where you've experienced otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing I can do for you. I can't change your mind, and I'm not finna try to change your mind. You might need to just go ahead, move to the side. Next. I'm just saying, I'm not finna sit here and argue with you. I'm not finna, I don't argue with nobody. But
Oh my God. I love
we are
today.
at the part of the show, the question of the episode.
Yes.
Pretty much, I asked the question twice. I give my answer, Allison gives her answer, and if you like to chime in, by all means do so.
Yes.
This is our way of being nosy without really being nosy.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular question, like I said, I'm gonna ask twice, then I'm gonna answer it, and Allison is gonna answer it. What do you enjoy or miss about being single?
Hmm.
What do you enjoy or miss about being single? Well, what I enjoy most about being single is it's my personal time. I really enjoy being by myself. Yes, I love being by myself. I ain't gotta share my ice cream. I ain't gotta share my food. I ain't gotta share none of my drink. It's mine. Now that's not to say I won't share. Because if I got to share, I don't mind sharing. But right
Mhm.
now, I'm single. I ain't got to give you nothing. That's mine. Mine, 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 mine. Do I miss anything? Well, I'm gonna try to, flip the question around a little bit. Is there anything I miss about being in a relationship? Yeah, give me a back rub and a belly rub with my moon cycle on. I miss that. It don't feel the same when I do it myself. That's it. I could go a little further into that. I'm not gonna put all my personal business out there like that. Allison, what do you enjoy or miss about being single?
Okay, so I'll do the same thing Ruby did. So what I enjoy is I love spending time with me. I'm not somebody
Mm.
that won't take myself out to. I'll go out to a movie by myself. I'll go shopping by myself. I'll go to concerts by myself. I'll go to the park by myself. A lot of things that I've heard women say they don't think they could ever do. I do it easily. I really, really enjoy it. Um, I enjoy the times that I've been single. I have enjoyed that I got to learn more about me. That I've been able to, if I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to get up at 2 in the morning and read a passage of a book again, I can do it without worrying about waking somebody up. And, I can meditate when I feel like it. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that I like to meditate. I like to meditate in the nude. I believe that it helps me stay focused on what's happening at the time. Now, having said that, trying to do that in a relationship, my meditation gets cut short. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't, so I haven't, so that's been something that I've enjoyed. I I think the big thing for me, I miss words of affirmation and affection. I am really big on
Mm-hmm.
cuddling. I'm real big on, kissing and holding hands and stuff like that. Those things I miss. The back rubs, like Ruby said, those are the things that I definitely miss when I'm not in a relationship. Yep.
Now, y'all notice neither one of us said sex.
Yeah, did y'all catch that? I love it, but it's not. I
Right.
love it,
But it,
but no, it's more about the connection for me. Hmm.
me too. But y'all did notice we didn't mention
We
it.
did.
I'm just saying. India said, not a dang on thing. Well, girl, you got a man at home. Of course you don't miss nothing. Of course you don't miss nothing. You too bored. And that's the thing. You too busy focused on what you got and who you got and why you got
And
them.
I ain't mad
You ain't
at
even
you.
got time to be thinking,
I ain't mad
what
at
if I
you.
was single? But thank you all for tuning in to Soul Sunday today with me and Allison.
Hmm.
Of course, we now have Soul Sunday Reloaded on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, in which we will be discussing. Allison, what are we going to talk about?
Oh, I wish I had my phone. I don't know which one yet, but let's talk about one of the other topics maybe that I sent you a couple weeks back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know which
It's
one
going to be a
though.
surprise.
Yeah.
It's a surprise. Y'all got to tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes.
And we're gonna tell y'all what we talking about then.
Okay, works for me.
If y'all like everything else that we talked about, trust me, you're gonna like this
And you
too.
will.
India says, I didn't like meeting people's representative of self. I enjoy the part of a relationship where people are
I
themselves.
love
I
it.
completely agree.
I agree too.
Yeah. That's why when people ask me what you like, what you look for, none of your business.
Don't worry
Because
about it.
either you
Just
is
show me you.
or it isn't.
Show me you.
Hey, how India put it, girl. India Irie, how she put it? Um, the truth. What she say? Either it is or it isn't.
Either. Oh yeah, yeah,
It's something she said before then, and she was like, either it is or it
yeah.
isn't.
I don't need
Either
your
you are or you
representative.
ain't.
Yeah, I don't have one, and I'm sick of meeting others. What you get is me. That's all I need
Don't
to
ask
meet.
me. Don't ask me what I look for. What you want in a man? What you like? None of your business.
Let's just see if you got it. You either do or you don't.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Because if you tell me what you like, that don't mean I'm gonna do it. Because I might like you enough to even want to do it. I'm just saying. But this has been Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. Now, if you want to catch any of the past episodes of Soul Sunday, you can definitely watch them all, binge watch them all, like y'all be binge watching Insecure and Power and all that other stuff that y'all be watching on TV. You can binge watch this on YouTube. Just search my name, Ruby Davidson. You can find me on Instagram at Ruby the Artistry. You can also visit my website, www.thegoddessgrind.com. Also, I have Soul Therapy Radio, which next Sunday, y'all to get y'all a double dose of soul because y'all watch Soul Therapy from noon to 1, and then Soul Sunday from 2 to 3. But you can visit the website there, soultherapyradio.life. If you like advertising, product sponsorship, want to be a guest on the show, let us know. And you can follow us on Instagram, soul_therapy_radio. Allison, I had to think about it.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I am Allison Denise. You can find me on Facebook under Allison Denise. Also, feel free to join our new pages, Miss Allison Denise, aka the Petite Powerhouse, that's me, and 501c3 nonprofit page, the HGL Group. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter under Miss Allison Denise. As Ruby mentioned, you can catch me right here with her on Sundays and Tuesdays, Monday through Thursday. Join me on my own page from usually between 9:30 9:45 Monday through Thursday. Friday, I am now 1/5 of the Bad Squad radio show right there on Fishbowl Radio Network. You can find us on www.fbrn.us in the green stream. Join our Bad Squad Nation chat room on Facebook if you want to watch us. And we are available 9 to 11 Central on Fridays, 10 to midnight Eastern. Don't forget www.allisondenise.com for all of your speaking and coaching needs surrounding relationships. I got it all out.
Okay. I was like, is she finished? But we love y'all. We appreciate you. We will see y'all on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye-bye.
Peace.